till this problem. The reversible heat engine is applied 900 kilojoules of heat from heat source, and it rejects to two heat sinks. Okay, one source and two sinks. And before this problem, we solved two sources and one sink. Okay, now today we will take this problem. A heat engine working on Carnot cycle. Can you see the screen? All of you, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Anyone please respond. Yeah, right. A heat engine working on Carnot cycle absorbs heat from three thermal reservoirs. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, three sources. It is absorbing from three reservoirs. We can say we have three sources here. 1, 2, and 3 reservoirs at a temperature 1000 Kelvin and 800 Kelvin and 600 Kelvin. Okay, and let us say draw the engine. This is the heat engine, and it is taking heat from the three reservoirs. Let us say 3 connect parallelly, and from here it is taking. Okay, and this is one here's heat. Let us say Q1, Q2, Q3. Therefore, this is Q1. Let us assume Q2 and Q3. Let us say this is the total heat supplied. Q, let us say. Okay, and it is doing work, and how much it is? W is equals to 10 kilowatt. Kilowatt is nothing but kilojoules per second. Kilosecond, and rejects 100 kilojoules per minute of heat to a heat sink at 300 Kelvin. So it has only one sink, and it is rejecting heat at the rate of 400 kilojoule per minute, and sink temperature is 300 Kelvin. If the heat supplied by the reservoir at 1000 Kelvin is 60% of heat supplied by the 600 Kelvin. Okay, let us assume, if let us say the heat supplied by the 1000 Kelvin reservoir is 0.6 times 60% of the heat supplied by the 600 Kelvin. Okay, 0.6 times he has given. Okay, now so what he is asking, make calculations for the quantity of heat absorbed by the each reservoir. Means he is asking what is the value of Q1, what is the value of Q2, what is the value of Q3. Okay, right. So now if you see, we don't know how much amount of heat supplied. Do you know this total Q, total heat supplied? Tell me, do you know how much amount of heat we are supplying to the engine?
No, sir.
We don't know, right? No. But we know the work done by the engine. We know heat rejected also. We know. But only thing is we should balance the units. Okay, right. First, if you write the energy balance equation, if you apply the first law, energy balance. If you do, tell me energy balance equation. So Q is going inside, and W and heat rejection, right now. So both are coming. Q rejected, and this is Q added or Q supplied. We can say Q supplied. So if you write energy balance, Q supplied is equals to work done plus heat rejected. W plus QR. Very good. Okay, but here the units are not balanced. If you see, it is kilojoule per minute and it is kilojoules per second. If you convert anyone to either per minute or per second, let us say I am converting to per minute. So what I need to do, this work done will become into 600 kilojoule per minute. 600 kilojoules per minute. Therefore, heat supplied is equals to work done is 600 plus heat rejected is equals to 400 kilojoules per minute. So therefore, total heat supplied is equals to 1000 kilojoules per minute. Clear till now? Is it clear? So we got total heat supplied. Okay. Okay, right. Now we can say it is working on Carnot cycle, and from Clausius equation, what we know for reversible. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Students? Yeah.
Sir.
For reversible engine from Clausius theorem, what can I write? From Clausius equation. So for reversible engine, cyclic integral dou
Del
q
QT.
by t is equals to 0. If it is less than 0, that is for irreversible process. Okay, right. So Carnot cycle is always reversible cycle. Okay, so therefore for reversible cycle dou q by t equal to 0. So which implies if I write, let us say first one, q1 by t1 plus q2 by t2, because heat supplied is positive always, q3 by t3 minus tell me, let us say this is q4 rejected, minus q4 by t4 is equals to 0. Okay, right now, right. What is the q1? Q1 is the heat supplied by the 600 Kelvin temperature reservoir. Okay, right. Now write it q1 by, somebody unmuted, please mute your mics. So q1, what is the t1? 600 plus q2. q2 is not known. Let us say q2 by 800. What about q3? q3 is the heat supplied by the 1000 Kelvin, but is given in the problem. The heat supplied by the 1000 Kelvin reservoir is 60% of heat supplied by the 600 Kelvin reservoir. 600 Kelvin reservoir heat supplied is q1. Therefore, this is 0.6 q1 by how much it is? 1000 minus q4 we got given 400 divided by 300 is equals to 0. Okay, right. So if you see, what is the value of q1 plus q2 plus q3? We know q1 plus q2 plus q3 is equal to what?
Q,
It
sir.
is nothing but heat supply. Yes, qs, right? Now heat supply. Agree? This is qs. So what is the value of qs we got? It is 1000 kilojoules per minute. It is 1000 kilojoules per minute, right? So therefore, q1 value is q1 plus q2, we don't know. q3 is also 0.6 q1 is equals to 1000. So from this, q2 is equals to 1000 minus 1.6 q1. So what I am doing? So here how many unknowns are there in this equation? In this equation, there are two unknowns are there. I am converting q2 also in terms of q1. Therefore, one unknown can easily solve with one equation. So let us say this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Okay. Now substitute q2 value in equation 1. Substitute 2 in equation 1. So therefore, I will get q1 by 600 plus q2 is replaced by 1000 minus 1.6 q1 divided by t2. t2 is 800 plus 0.6 q1 divided by 1000 minus 400 by 300 is equals to 0. If you solve this equation, which value you will get it? q1. Got it? Is it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you solve, you will get q1. Once you know q1, put q1 in q2, put q1 in equation 2. So which value you will get it? You will get q2, right?
Q2.
So once you know q1, q2, and what is q3? q3 is equals to 0.6 q1. Got it? So therefore, we got q1 value, q2 value, and q3 value. Clear this one? You need to solve this equation. So one unknown, one equation we can solve easily. If you solve this equation, you will get the value of q1. Once you know q1, q2 and q3 can be calculated. Is it is clear? Compulsory one problem come. This model. Either three sources or three sinks, one source, two sinks, two source, one sink, like that model. Is it is clear? Please reply. Any doubt you can ask me. Right. Right. Next problem. Right. Can you see the question?
Yes, sir.
Right. A reversible heat engine receives heat from a high temperature reservoir at T1 Kelvin and rejects heat to a low temperature sink at 800 Kelvin. A second reversible engine receives the heat rejected by the first engine at 800 Kelvin and reject to a cold reservoir at 280 Kelvin. So how many engines are there? There are two engines are there. So one engine output is using as input for the other engine. Got it? So let me draw the figure. First we will draw the figure, then we will see what is required. So what happened? Okay, let me take the brush. So what is the temperature? T1 Kelvin. So here I have one engine 1. Okay, let us say, and it rejects to the sink, it takes source, and here I have rejection. At what temperature it is rejecting to the 800 Kelvin. Okay, and then this is supplied to another engine E2. Okay, and reject to the sink. Now let me check the data. T1 and see reversible engine, right? It rejects the heat to 280 Kelvin. This temperature is 280 Kelvin, right? So let us say this is the work done by the engine 1 and this is the work done by the engine 2. Okay. Now let us say the heat supplied here is Q1 and let us say heat rejected is Q2, and this Q2 will be heat supplied as usual because the same heat rejection will be used as heat supplied, and let us say this is Q3. Okay, so this is temperature T1 and let us say this is temperature T2 and let this temperature is T3. Is this figure is clear? Okay, there are two engines. One engine is taking heat from the first engine. Okay, make calculations for temperature T1. T1, again conditions are given for equal thermal efficiencies. If the two engines are having same thermal efficiency, what is the value of T1? And second question, for the two engines to deliver the same amount of work, if work done are same, what is the value of T1? Okay, is the question is clear? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, so we know that efficiency formula is equals to work done by heat supplied. Work done is equal to heat supplied minus heat rejected. Let us in terms of temperature for first engine I am writing work done is equals to T1 minus T2 divided by T1. So that is equals to 1 minus I can write as T2 by T1. And similarly for engine 2 I can write T2 minus T3. T2 is the supplier, T3 is rejected, divided by T2. That is equals to 1 minus T3 by T2. We can write right now. Now, so here, first, what is the first condition is given? For equal efficiencies, if the efficiency is equal, what is the value of T1 is asking. Okay. So first bit I am doing. So given efficiency of engine 1 is equals to efficiency of engine 2, right? From this what can I write? 1 minus T2 by T1 is equals to 1 minus T3 by T2, right? So from this what can I write? So 1 will be cancelled by cross multiplication T2 into T2. T2 square is equals to T1 into T3 and T2 is equals to square root T1 T3. Right, we got an intermediate temperature. Yes or no? Please reply.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. We know T1 temperature is known. That is the unknown value. Yes or no? T2 is known. T3 is known, but what is required here? T1 only, or else directly from this only I can write. Need not to go till now. T1 is equals to T2 square by T3. T2 is how much? 800. 800 square by T3 is 280 Kelvin. If you solve, you will get the value of T1. Okay, this is the first case. What is the second case? Second case is given that for the two engines deliver same amount of work. So next case we need to equate the work. So if you equate the work, so work done by engine 1 is equals to work done by engine 2, right now. So what is the work done by engine 1? Work done is equals to Q1 minus Q2. Second engine is Q2 is supplied, Q3 is rejected. Okay, na? So if we equate Q1 minus Q2 is equals to Q2 minus Q3, or let us say if we rearranging the terms, what we will get? Q1 plus Q3 is equals to 2Q2, right now, or else is further I can write Q1 by Q2 plus Q3 by Q2 is equals to 2 also I can write, just by dividing with Q2 on both the sides. Okay, so as we know, Q1 by Q2 is equals to T1 by T2, because Q is equals to MCT. So in that way I can write T1 by T2 plus T3 by T2 is equals to 2. So what is unknown here? Only unknown is T1. So the T1 can be calculated easily. Yes or no? Because T2 is known, T3 is known. T1 divided by 800 plus 280 divided by 800 is equals to 2. Simplify this one, you will get the temperature. Is it is clear? Students?
Yes, sir.
Right? So here the first engine is giving input to the second engine. Means the heat rejected by the engine 1 is taking as heat supplied, is utilizing to supply the heat to the second engine. Okay, first case what he is saying, when the efficiencies of both the engines are same, what is the value of T1? That is the first bit. Second bit is when work done are same, what is the value of T1? That's it. Next. Right. So a reversible engine operates between 875 Kelvin and 310 Kelvin, and it drives a reversible refrigerator operating between 310 and 255 Kelvin. The engine receives 200 kilojoules of heat, and net work output from the arrangements equals to 350 kilojoules. Make calculations for the cooling effect. So can anyone draw the figure by reading this problem? Just go through the problem once. If you are able to draw the figure, it's over. A reversible heat engine is there and refrigerator, both are there. Can anyone draw the figure? I will share the screen to you. Right, look here. So first heat engine operating between 875 and 310. This is the source temperature and this is the sink temperature. This is 875 Kelvin and the sink temperature is 310 Kelvin. This is the engine. It is taking heat from here and it is rejecting heat to this, right? So let us say this is Q1 and this is Q2. So written, the engine receives 2000 kilojoules of heat. So therefore Q1 is equals to 2000 kilojoules of heat, right? And net work output is given. Okay, what is net? So here on the other side I have the refrigerator. So as we know, refrigerator is a work consuming device. So therefore the work required to dry the refrigerator is taking from engine. Okay, it is taking from engine, right? So this is the work done by the engine. This is the work consumed by the refrigerator. Then the remaining work is my network. Got it? So this is the total work done by the engine. This is the work consumed by the refrigerator. So let us say if 100 kilojoules is the work done, out of 100, let us say 50 kilojoule is the work consumed by the refrigerator, then W net will be this minus this gives the W net. Okay, so it is taking heat from the lower temperature body and supplying to the higher temperature body. Okay, and refrigeration temperatures are given 310 Kelvin and 255 Kelvin. A reversible refrigerator. Sorry, then reversible refrigerators. What is my reversible refrigerator? Reversible refrigerator is also a heat engine. Got it? The directions are reversed. Here mentioned a reversible refrigerator. So therefore 310 Kelvin over here, 255 Kelvin here. 255 Kelvin over here. Okay, let assume, let us say this is Q3 and this is the Q4. So this is the in EWR, let us say, refrigerator. Okay, right. What he is asking, make calculations for the cooling effect. Okay, right. So now how to calculate the efficiency of the engine? Work done by heat supplied. So therefore efficiency is equals to work done by heat supplied. So do you know work done? Work done is not known. Let us say W E, work done by the engine, divided by heat supplied is 2000 as usual we are writing. Okay, right. When temperatures are known, I can calculate efficiency, right? So that is also equals to 1 minus T2 by T1, or else, sorry, T1 minus T2 by T1. T1 minus T2 by T1. Because temperatures are known, I can calculate the efficiency. Okay, right. So therefore, work done by engine by 2000 is equals to T1 875 minus 310. Open the calculator. Anyone, if anyone is having calculator, please operate and tell me. T1 minus T2. This is T1 temperature. This is T2 temperature, and this is T3, and this temperature is T4. Operate and tell me what is this value? T1 minus T2 divided by T1. What is this value? Tell me. 875 minus 310. 565 divided by 310. How much is
0.28
into 2000? Into this 2000. Therefore, you will get the work done by the engine.
$3645.1, sir.
This value multiplied by 2000. Units.
Sir. 3645.1.
Same units are same. Yeah. Your voice is low. Number 2.
Sir, 3645.1.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. T1 is what? 875, right? Yes.
Yes,
This
sir.
is not.
875
This is 875. Right. 875. So then this value will be less than 1. Then it will be less than 2000. You will get it. Now tell me.
1291.
1 minute.
1291.
Very good. 1291 kilojoules, right? Units are kilojoules only. Okay. Right. So what is engine work minus refrigerator work is equals to network work? Can I say like that? So this, from this work, some amount of work is utilized by the refrigerator. The remaining is the W net, right? W net is equals to this minus this, right? So therefore, and the network is given how much? 350 kilojoule. The network is given as 350 kilojoule in the problem. So 350 kilojoule. Therefore, we can calculate work consumed by the refrigerator. So therefore, WE minus W net is equals to work consumed by the refrigerator. So 1291 minus 350. How much it will be? How much?
941.
941, sir.
941 kilojoules. 940? Okay, 940, 941, 942. Everything is okay, right? Now, so now how to get the COP, right? Now, you look here. Can anyone define what is a refrigerator? What is a refrigerator? Wantedly, I made one mistake here, but no one is asking. So, how refrigerator works? It takes the heat from the lower temperature body
Supplied.
and reject. Listen, it takes heat from the lower temperature body and rejects to the body at high temperature, right? That heat is rejected to the higher temperature body. Now, if you see here, are these values are correct? So it is taking heat from the higher temperature body. Is it is the work of refrigerator?
No, sir.
Please tell me. No, then these values should be reversed, right? I am waiting for that, but no one is answering. Just simply blindly listening. You should know working of refrigerator. Refrigerator takes heat from the body under lower temperature and reject heat to the body under high temperature. That is the purpose of the refrigerator. If right, so the reverse will be acting as the engine. Okay, now what is T3 here? It should be lower temperature. What is the lower
55
temperature?
Kelvin.
255
55
Kelvin, and higher temperature is 310 Kelvin, right? What is the refrigerating effect here? This is my refrigerating effect. I agree. Observing the heat from the lower temperature body, extracting the heat from the lower temperature body is my effect. For that, I am doing certain work. Okay. Therefore, COP is equals to refrigerating effect by work done. So, what is the refrigerating effect? Q3. Agree. Q3 by what is the work done by the refrigerator? 941 kilojoule. 941 kilojoule, right now? Right. So this is also this is also equivalent to, in terms of temperature. In terms of temperature, what to write? T3 divided by T3. If you see here, T3 divided by T4 minus T3. Higher minus lower. Okay. T3 divided by T4 minus T3. Right. What is unknown here? Unknown is the Q3. T3 is known. T4 is known. So from this you can calculate Q3. Q3 is my cooling effect or refrigerating effect. This is called as a refrigeration effect or cooling effect. Got it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please answer. Right. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the required. Make calculations for the cooling effect. Cooling effect is also called as a refrigerating effect. Right. Over problems. Yeah. Last problem. Then we'll go to the entropy. Right. Just go through the problem. Same problem.
Sir, same problem, just we
Yes, sir.
fixed.
That problem, right? This is over. This is over. Right now. Okay. Right. So what you need to do? You need to practice similar problems. Agree? Okay. So you need to practice similar kind. So from any textbook or any previous papers, you go through it and solve the problems. Okay. Let me take the pen. Right. Now, what is entropy? Right. So from classes inequality, we know cyclic integral or dou q by t. Dou q by t is less than or equal to 0 is valid. Agree? Yes or no? Cyclic integral dou
Yes,
q by
sir.
t less than or equal to 0 is valid, means dou q by t is equal to 0 for reversible process and dou q by t is
Reversible
less than
process.
0 for irreversible process, right? So therefore
Irreversible process.
dou q by t for reversible process is 0, right? So dou q by t is equal to 0 means it is a point function, as already discussed in the first unit or second unit. Yeah, first unit only, right? So all what is point function? It is the exact differential. It is a exact differential. If it is a point function, I can also call it as a property of a system. All point functions are properties of system. What is point function? If it is possible to represent any quantity by a point on a graph, then we can call it as a point function. Example, temperature, pressure, volume. Okay, right? So therefore entropy is also a point function, right? So because I'll show you in the next derivation why we are calling it as point function. But logically, if you see, we can represent entropy in graph by a point, because if you see temperature versus entropy plot, I can represent a state over here. So what indicates? So let us see, if I write one state point here, this is the entropy one and this is the temperature one. Therefore, this point is denoting entropy. Okay. So therefore, I'm able to represent by a point on a graph. Therefore, I can call it as a point function. Okay. And we know it is in all point functions are independent of the path followed. It all always depends on the end states of the system. Okay, we are going to prove that one also. Okay, usually entropy is denoted by symbol S and the units are kilojoules per Kelvin. Kilojoules per Kelvin, right? And the entropy per mass is called specific entropy, small s, and the units are kilojoule per mass, kg Kelvin. If it is kilojoules per Kelvin, that is the entropy, and kilojoules per kg Kelvin is that is specific entropy. Remember, okay? So cyclic integral dou q by t. So for reversible process, I can write it is S2 minus S1. Okay. So therefore, entropy is independent of mass, or it depends on mass. It always depends on the mass. So if any property depends on mass, that is called extensive property, and if it is independent of mass, then we can call it as intensive property. Here entropy depends on the mass of the system. Okay, right? So the property of the system increases with absorption of the heat and decreases with heat rejection, right? So you generally, if you add the heat to the system, the entropy is going to increase. Entropy is nothing but random disorderness. Okay, right? So here entropy always increases by adding the heat and decreases by rejecting the heat. As we know, for adiabatic process there is no heat interaction, q equal to 0. If q is equals to 0, the entropy is also 0, because ds is equals to dq by t. So when q is 0, entropy is also 0, right? So therefore for adiabatic process, entropy change is 0. Therefore we can say that entropy is a property of the system and that remains constant. What is meant by ds equal to 0? Ds equal to 0 means S1 is equals to S2. Entropy is constant for adiabatic process, right? That just now I told, if you add the heat, entropy increases. If you reject the heat, entropy decreases. Suppose there is no question of addition or rejection of the heat, entropy remains constant. That is in case of adiabatic process. Adiabatic process means q is equals to 0. When q is equals to 0, ds is equals to 0. When ds is 0, I can say S1 is equals to S2. Okay,
S2.
right? So for reversible adiabatic process, sorry, any doubt? Okay. The reversible adiabatic process during which entropy remains constant is called isentropic process. Remember. So we know already reversible adiabatic process is also called as isentropic process. PV power gamma governing equation we already discussed. PV power gamma is equals to constant. If the adiabatic process is reversible, then I can call it as isentropic process. However, isentropic process need not be an adiabatic process, because for isentropic process, okay, in order to keep the entropy constant, right? So we can add the heat or we can reject the heat. Okay, so isentropic process need not be an adiabatic process, as the entropy during a particular process may be kept constant by heat transfer, by adding the heat or by rejecting the heat. So we can say that all reversible adiabatic processes are all isentropic process. Okay, now just now I told, so entropy is a point function, means it is a property of the system. How it will be? Let us consider a system undergoing change of state from 1 to 2 via A and coming back 2 to 1 via B and C. Right, so 1 to 2 via A, 2 to 1 via B and via C. Right, now so let us say if you constitute 1A 2B1, it is a one cyclic process. Agree? Right, 1A 2B1 is one cyclic process and 1A 2C1 is also a cyclic process. Okay, right, so let us assume these processes are reversible processes, means 1 to 2 via 1 to 2 via A, 2 to 1 via A is also possible, 1 to 2 via B, 2 to 1 via B, like that. Okay, so we are assuming that these paths are reversible paths. Okay, now so what is Clausius theorem states? So cyclic integral dou q by t is equals to 0 for reversible process. Right, so what is cyclic integral dou q by t? Cyclic integral means for cyclic process. So let us consider first cycle 1A 2B1. For 1A 2B1, 1A 2 is one process, 2B1 is another process, means 1 to 2 via A, 2 to 1 via B. Therefore I can write 1 to 2 via A dou q by t plus 2 to 1 via B dou q by t is equal to 0. This is for cyclic process. This is for cyclic process. In the same way, second cycle 1A 2C1, 1A 2C1, 1 to 2 via A is one process, 2 to 1 via C is also another process. Just apply the Clausius equation, cyclic integral 1 to 2 via A plus 2 to 1 via C equal to 0. If you observe these two equations, left hand side is same, therefore I can equate first terms are same, therefore I can equate second terms also. Therefore what can I write? Say 1 to 2 via B dou q by t is equals to 1 to 2 via C dou q by t, means whether it follows 2B1 or 2C1, it remains constant, means it is independent of the path followed. It depends only on the end states. Therefore entropy is a point function, therefore it is a property of the system. The integral quantity dou q by t for reversible process, I am assuming the paths, these are all reversible process. Is this derivation is clear? Please tell me. So what we are going to
Yes.
prove over here?
Yes, sir.
So 2 to 1 via B or 2 to 1 via C, no change in the state of the system. Means the entropy is independent of the path followed, whether it is following 2B1 or 2C1. It depends only on the end states. Okay, that's why we are calling it as property of the system, or it is a point function. Okay, that is for reversible process. Just now we discussed this is the reversible process. Now we will see for the irreversible process also, right? So now let us consider the figure 1 to 2 via A. That is the reversible, and 2B1 process is irreversible process. Okay, one is the reversible, other one is the irreversible process. Right, now as we know, for irreversible process dou q by t is less than 0. Cyclic integral dou q by t is less than 0. That is for irreversible process. So therefore if we apply for irreversible process, 1 to 2 via A plus 2 to 1 via B is less than 0. Right, so you can see 1 to 2 via A. Let me change the color here. Right, so here is it is variable 1 to 2 via A plus 2 to 1 via B is less than 0. What I underlined is, it is clear, this line, first line, this is for irreversible process. Path A is reversible, path B is irreversible. You can say the A is the reversible process, B is the irreversible process. Okay, so therefore if it is reversible, I can change the, see, reversible means I can go 1 to 2 via A or 2 to 1 via A. Okay, so therefore by change I can change the directions by keeping. Okay, I can change the directions. So therefore by keeping this negative sign. Okay, right. So therefore, dou q by t will be ds is equal to e. See, dou q by t is equals to ds for reversible process, as we know. This is for reversible process. Therefore, dou q by t 1 to 2 via a can be replaced by ds 1 to 2a plus dou q by t is less than 0. So therefore, 1a2, if I change the direction, that is 2a1, what I need to do? I need to put one minus symbol, means minus ds 2a1 2a1 plus dou q by t less than 0. Okay, right. If I want to eliminate this minus sign, I need to multiply with minus. So therefore, this one I can, again I'm writing minus ds 221 via a less than dou q by t. If I now I am going to multiply with the negative sign. If I multiply with the negative sign, this less than symbol will become greater than. Therefore, ds is greater than dou q by t. This dou q by t is for irreversible and ds is for reversible. Agree this one? Okay. What does it mean? The change of entropy. Ds means what? Change of entropy when the system is undergoing irreversible process is given by this equation, right now. Therefore, ds is greater than dou q by t, means the entropy change in reversible process is greater than dou q by t for irreversible process. Okay, so therefore the equality sign for reversible process and inequality sign for irreversible process, that we know, right? So the equation shows that entropy increases during the irreversible process. So in generalized way I can write, so just now I got ds is greater than dou q by t, and earlier I got ds is equal to dou q by t. So therefore ds is greater than or equal to dou q by t. This is a generalized form. This is generalized form. So ds is nothing but entropy difference. S2 minus S1 is greater than dou q by t integral 1 to 2. Okay. So n increases during the irreversible process and it is constant during the reversible process. Constant in the sense dou q by t is equals to 0 for reversible process. Once dou q by t equal to 0, therefore S2 minus S1 is equals to 0. Therefore S2 is equals to S1. Therefore I can say it is the constant. What is constant? Entropy is constant for reversible process and entropy increases during irreversible process. If it is adiabatic process, q is equals to 0. Once q is equals to 0, if you substitute over here, if you q equal to 0, S2 minus S1 greater than or equal to 0, right? So means ds is greater than or equal to 0, which means entropy change is 0 for reversible adiabatic and entropy change is greater than 0 for irreversible adiabatic process. Very, very, very important this one, understanding this concept. So when it will be ds equal to dq by t, if the process is reversible process, and ds is greater than dq by t for irreversible process. If you combined, I can write ds is greater than or equal to dq by t. Okay, as we know, for reversible process, ds is equals to dq by t. ds equal to dq by t. Okay. Okay. So therefore, entropy increases during irreversible process and is constant during reversible process. Adiabatic process, if you put q equal to 0, if q is 0, ds is 0, therefore s is 2 equal to s1, means during reversible adiabatic process, entropy is constant. During reversible adiabatic process, you can see entropy is equals to constant, means change of entropy will be 0. When entropy is constant, change will be 0, and it is greater than 0 for irreversible adiabatic process. Okay, then clear this one. Irreversible process entropy change. Okay, now entropy principle, right? So what entropy principle states? Entropy of an isolated system either increases or in the limit or remains constant. We will see. Okay, right. An isolated system does not undergo any interaction, right? It is isolated, so any energy interactions with the surroundings and the total energy of isolated system will be remains constant, right? So for an isolated system, q is equals to 0 because it is isolated. So once q equal to 0, what is the equation? We know ds is greater than or equal to dou q by t. When q is equal to 0, ds will be greater than or equal to 0. What when ds will be equal to 0, right? So just now I told, for reversible process, For reversible adiabatic process, entropy is constant. For irreversible process, entropy increases. This is the entropy principle. So in previous slides also same. So entropy change. So the entropy change is greater than zero for irreversible process. The entropy change is zero for reversible process. Entropy change is zero means entropy is constant. Okay, the same thing here I am going to state that is called entropy principle. Entropy of an isolated system either increases or in the limit or remains constant. Okay, ds equal to 0 for reversible process, ds is greater than 0 for irreversible process. It may be stated that entropy of isolated system can never decreases. It always increases with every irreversible process and remains constant for reversible process. It is constant for reversible process and it increases for irreversible process. This is known as principle of entropy increases. Clear this one, entropy principle? For reversible process, entropy is constant. For irreversible process, entropy increases. Okay, that thing you remember.
So reversible process means it can be anything. The idea.
Sorry, your voice is very low. For reversible process,
You said in the starting reversible adiabatic process now, sir.
yeah, this is for adiabatic only again. Because if you see here, q is equal to 0. For which process q is equals to 0? Adiabatic only.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see here, if you what is the difference between adiabatic process and isolated adiabatic system and isolated system? See, we have adiabatic. Adiabatic means no heat interaction, but work interaction may be in adiabatic system. If you recall the first unit, adiabatic system does not interact with in terms of heat, it may interact in terms of work. Whereas isolated system, no heat interaction, no work interaction. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Here if you see, even in statement also, entropy of an isolated system I am telling. Entropy of isolated system means no heat, no work. Can never decrease. It always increases with irreversible and remains constant for reversible process. Clear now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Right, now how to plot the isentropic process in TS diagram we are going to see, right? Right, as we know, temperature entropy process. Okay, temperature entropy process. So this is the adiabatic process. Okay, here, sorry, this is the adiabatic process. So adiabatic process is entropy is constant. Entropy means entropy at state 1 should be equal to entropy at state 2. Therefore, isentropic process is represented by a vertical line in the TS diagram, and for isothermal process, temperature is constant. It is represented by a horizontal line in TS diagram. Okay, so what is when a system undergoing a reversible process, Q reversible equal to integral TdS. Okay, this implies that the area under the curve, right? So what is Q? Q is the heat supplied or heat rejected, whatever it may be. TdS, right now, right? So here the, if you recall, in PV diagram, that is some expansion process. Right, some expansion processes are happening. PV diagram. Right, state 1 to 2, some expansion is happening, right? So now how to know, let us say during expansion process, work is delivered by the system, right? So this is the work delivered, right? Now how to calculate the work? Work is equals to area under PV diagram. Yes or no? Area under PV diagram. In the same way, in TS diagram, okay, so work is heat is equals to area under TS diagram. Heat is equals to area under TS diagram. Means here W is equals to what I am going to write? P into dV. Here Q is equals to T into ds. Is it is similar to this or no? Let us say one to some process. Right? This is the total heat supplied or heat rejected. T into ds. Therefore, area under TS diagram gives the heat flow, and area under PV diagram gives the work done. Clear now?
Yes.
Okay, right. Right. So during a reversible adiabatic process, adiabatic Q equal to 0. During reversible adiabatic process, we know entropy is constant. Okay. So it is represented by a vertical line and TS diagram. During isothermal process, T is equals to constant. Therefore, it is represented by a horizontal line. So T into S2 minus S1. When entropy is equals to constant, right? So now for when entropy is equals to constant, what is Q here? If you tell me, if entropy is constant, S2 is equals to S1, Q is also 0. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Means what does it mean? Is there any area under this curve?
No, sir.
No, the area under this curve is 0. When area under the curve is 0, what does it mean? The heat is also 0. We got it? Isentropic process, heat flow equal to 0. Okay, right. But here the area exists. This is the area under the curve. So how to get T into S2 minus S1. This T may be either T1 or T2. This area. This is nothing but rectangular area. This area, this is equal to Q. Okay. We'll solve problems in the next class.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me stop recording.